Naruto is truly one of the anime of all time. As a child, my brother had a GameCube, and I remember we used to play it for hours. I had no idea what I was doing, I was just messing around, having fun or whatever, but one game from that era stuck out to me more than anything else we played. Obviously the video is about Naruto, considering I said that first, but there's actually a few Naruto games that have come out. This video is about
Naruto Clash of Ninja 2,
which in my opinion is the best Naruto game, and honestly one of the best anime video games. I know the Ninja Storm enjoyers aren't gonna like me for that, but that's tough and they're just gonna have to cope and seethe. The important story beats are touched on here: the survival exercise, Naruto and Sasuke versus Haku, Kakashi versus Zabuza, Sasuke versus Lee, you get it. The important Chunin exam fights are all there, later fights, yada yada yada. The final levels in the story are Sasuke and Naruto versus Gaara. And it's hype as shit too.
I'll be the one to stop you. You are my prey.
Fuck man, why is Gaara so difficult? He's just fucking broken, dude.
The gameplay is odd for a fighting game. I mean, for the most part, it's just A and B to attack back and to block and so on and so forth, but it feels good to play, and that's something a lot of fighting games can't replicate. You feel like a god taking on survival mode, or when that special finally lands and when, oh yeah, you're Kakashi and you can copy the other person's special attack.
Here it comes. Here it is.
Alright guys, it's IGN. 7 out of 10. Too much anime. Naruto Clash of Ninja 2 really makes you feel like Kakashi.
The story mode here is very rushed, and the cutscenes are literally just character icons with voice acting, and you can say whatever you want about it, but I think it works well. I think this game as a whole is very good at capturing that early Naruto aesthetic, and one of the most important things that contributes to that, and one of my favorite things about Clash of Ninja 2, is the soundtrack. If you go on YouTube right now, the main playlist with the OST still has people commenting on it every now and then. And it feels like an interesting place where we all gather to talk about a game we all remember playing as kids. It's very nostalgic, and it's still with all of us today.
Tell me this don't hit right now, tell me. Tell me this shit don't hit right now. I fucking dare you, dog. Dare you. Tell me.
Music in the menus is great. It feels like you're preparing for something big. The match of the century, you know. Music in the character select menu is just, ugh. That was the second song you heard in the background, and honestly, this would totally play in the promotional material for like Sasuke versus Gaara or other Chunin exams if these were matches that occurred in real life. Music in the levels is supreme and keeps you hype as fuck during combat, on your toes, and frantically trying to win. But it can also be super unnerving, such as both Forest of Death themes. Some of these songs are so fire they kept them in the newer games. Here's a few examples. As I mentioned before, the story mode is really hard. The later fights with Naruto and Sasuke against Kankuro and Gaara pretty much require you to stall out the opponent to win. Like, you aren't going to defeat them. Every other mode of gameplay that isn't multiplayer, depending on the difficulty you set of course, is actually pretty easy. Kinda weird how that works, but hey, who knows. The game caters pretty well to fans, having a lot of hidden Easter eggs and small details. You know, earlier I brought up copying jutsu with Kakashi. Pressing the Z button on the character screen to play as Mizuki. Who is that again? Oh, the dude from episode 1 or whatever who wants the scroll to learn a fucking shadow clone jutsu? His fit is sick though, but oh my god is he forgettable. You can also play as Kankuro's puppet Crow and Kiba's dog Akamaru. And oh my fucking god, that dog. Oh my god. The bane of my fucking existence. One of my best friends came over when we were like 14, just hanging out. We set up the GameCube, Clash of Ninja 2 just for fun because he'd never played it before, and he enjoys fighting games. This man went yo, there's a dog in this game? Sure, I'll play it. He wiped the fucking floor with me, dude. Akamaru's hitboxes make 0 sense. Most characters cannot hit him. This guy Longplay Legends did an Akamaru one-player run last year where he just goes through everyone, and the only attacks that even land are projectiles or downward aimed melee. Some of my other favorite examples of the attention to detail in these games is how, when you play as Crow, you can actually see Kankuro with the strings outside of the battle area. Oh yeah, and you can play as short hair and long hair Sakura and Ino, since they canonically cut their hair during the tuning exams. But okay, so I have a childhood connection to it. I like the soundtrack, the gameplay loop, and the attention to detail, but how does it hold up? I'd say it holds up to modern Naruto games pretty well, actually. I mean, sure, the 3D models here are in their absolute infancy, but they honestly aren't too far off from what we have in Storm 4. I mean, it also does look very 2000s, but how do you not make OG Naruto not look like something from the 2000s? The art style just looks that way. It's not an easy thing to change. I mean, yeah, the later Storm entries sort of tweak the aesthetic a little, but it does hold up. Maybe it doesn't look great, or even so much as necessarily good, but it's no Life of Black Tiger or like Orion Prelude. Not to mention how the game comes with all the content it could at the time, and didn't make you pay $7 for 2 character slots. Looking at you, Storm 4. I know there's a new Naruto game coming out soon that's supposed to cover the entire story from the very beginning until Boruto, but considering how Boruto isn't finished, I'm not sure I can support the idea of selling an incomplete story just to sell the rest of it through DLC. I've lived through enough Borderlands, Payday 2, Arma 3, and Cities Skylines worth of mid-ass DLC. This game got me into Naruto, and the lore and the universe surrounding it. Without me encountering this game, I would have never watched the absolute peak that is Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, Naruto, Code Geass, Cowboy Bebop, etc, etc. Yes, I did leave out the most mid-ass show ever, and without this game, I would have never gotten into anime. Kind of wild how one thing you experience super young leads to a domino effect later on. You know, I remember when I was 13, it was the summer after my 8th grade year, and my brother had given me an extra TV to use as a monitor, but the problem was I had no room for a monitor, and it had no connections to even try and be modern. So all I could do was hook up the RCA inputs, I think that's what it's called, to the GameCube, and then I booted up Clash of Ninja 2 and tried to replay the entire thing. I got my ass handed to me that summer by Story Mode, and then I ended up watching Naruto to better understand what was happening in game, and the rest, my friends, was history. Truly a great game. Thank you for watching. On a more personal note, the reason I haven't posted as much recently is because I got very sidetracked, and the videos I had trying to fix them up to post hurts to rewatch because I'm essentially going back through painful memories, and I'll release them one day, but right now the time isn't right. Thank you for watching.